Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Malachi Morton. Got my two great hosts right here, Noah Dorney, Talia Simpkins. Today we're going to be talking about two topics here. One, who is the face of the NBA, and our early predictions for next year's NBA Finals. So, Talia, I'll start with you. Who is the face of the NBA in your mind?
I think the face of the NBA, like how it's been for a long time, has been LeBron James. He's been the most dominant player of the decade, and he's had the most years as the best player in the world.
Right now, there's a difference between the best player in the NBA and the face of the NBA. In my opinion, right now, they're the same person, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is a guy that has been a consistent offensive force and defensive force. He affects every shot that's put up, and Giannis is just a guy that's going to be consistently on the court for you.
Yeah, I mean, I see the argument for Giannis, but we're looking at a LeBron James, who's been like the best player in the world since like '09, and even probably before that, he's been average. He just had a 30-point year. I understand he didn't make the playoffs, but we're looking at Giannis came up short, and he did win a title last year, but like even prior to that, he really wasn't as dominant as he is now, especially come playoff time. We're looking at a guy like LeBron who just won a championship 2 years ago, and Giannis 1 year ago. So I don't really think that's really the moving needle in a debate of who's the face of the NBA.
While I agree with you that if the Lakers were a playoff team, it's more than likely LeBron would have been voted as the MVP this year, but they weren't. And even though Giannis didn't win MVP, I think he was third. Jokic was first, Joel Embiid was second. Giannis was a guy that was consistently on the court and almost took out the Boston Celtics without his number 2 option, Chris Middleton, in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Giannis was the best player this year, but I thought LeBron wasn't that far back. And I think in total, for the decade, LeBron James was just the face of the NBA.
Those are two great points, both by each person. For me, I'll say LeBron, just because. Boys, early predictions for next year's NBA Finals.
It's tough, and I'm going to go on to a limb, and I'm going to say it's the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers are a team that's going to be getting Kawhi Leonard back. Paul George, people are mixed on his playoff performances, but I'm going to go bold and say that getting back Kawhi Leonard, and maybe they go out and they add a point guard that's not Reggie Jackson this offseason. Maybe they make a move for someone like Malcolm Brogdon, but that's something I can see the Celtics doing. But I could see the Clippers being a team that just come out and kind of run the gauntlet in the West.
I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Drew Holiday all healthy together have never lost a playoff series together. And I feel like they should be the favorites right now. They have good depth, they have good coaching, and they have really nice shooting. And I feel like they have the best player in the world. So, yeah.
While I agree with the Milwaukee Bucks pick, it's the Eastern Conference is so wide open because teams like Philly are going to get better. Teams like Miami are going to get better. Who knows what's going to happen with Brooklyn? But those are some examples. Like, these teams are going to be adding players, and maybe Milwaukee just decides to run it back, and it just won't be enough to keep up with the rest of the East.
That's it. All right, yeah. Clippers, Bucks. That may be an NBA Finals matchup next year, but my name's Malachi, and that was part of the Air Rush.